Hello there, I'm the Dragonator, and this is Octave, the game engine that uses Lua and can Hello there, I'm the Dragonator, and this is Octave Engine. Octave Engine is a game engine, duh, but it uses Lua for its coding, but it is also able to export to some pretty cool platforms such as Gamecube, Wii, and 3DS. Yes, you saw that right. Gamecube, Wii, 3DS. That is so cool. However, it is 3D only. So if you are not comfortable with 3D quite yet, you can go back to Godot and do some practice with 2D stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you Hello World for Octave. Whenever I do a Hello World for a brand new system or a brand new engine of sorts, I usually have a couple of things in mind for it to actually work. First, I have to learn player movement, and then I have to learn about buttons and spawning bullets, for example, and meteors, in this case, bullets and meteors, and also collision. Just those basic things. Everything else will be available from in due time. So, that's what I have here. I have a game, and I have the camera all the way over there. Don't worry about it. All the way over there, and it's got its lights so it can shine on the ship. I painted it myself. I actually find Octave very similar to Godot Engine in how it is structured. Everything's a scene. The ship is a scene. The meteor, also a scene. This scene is specifically a static mesh, and also the sphere 3D, which has collision. The bullet, also a scene, and the scenes have nodes. And I'm sure that some nodes require other nodes and some don't. And some scenes can be used as nodes for other scenes. As a result of how it is very similar to Godot Engine, all you really need to do is learn Lua in order to really use this properly, and Lua is pretty easy. I'll put in the description below some resources on how you can learn Lua yourself. Speaking of Lua, I have the code. And the code is very, very different than in Vercon 32, that's for sure. But I do have 4 different scripts. The ship, the game, the meteor, and the bullet. Let me put all those up here. Don't worry about this. It's fine. I was practicing some things. But let's start with the ship, because that was what I first started with. So, every single script has to start with actually defining it as a table. And then you can create all of the different functions, some built in, some not, with the ship, colon, whatever. Or whatever it is that you're building, colon, function, essentially. And then you can set your things, your variables with things like create and start. Now these are very similar to the very first function in Godot Engine, but this is similar to process. This is the loop, the main loop for the ship itself. Just the ship though. We have the input is gamepad down, but what we can also do is we can also use the keyboard. I don't want to use the keyboard because not every platform is going to have a keyboard. left stick left, left stick right, left stick up, left stick down, shoot pressed. One of these does not belong. Oh well. So if it's left, then it goes left, and then it rotates a little bit. The ship rotates. Same with the right. And then there's a little bit of up and down. I kind of did this right here. Kind of at the last minute. But I also have it so that the rotation can be set to normal-ish, the way it should be. And then we get to update the position with this, as well as setting the world rotation for itself. And then we get to spawn the bullet. This took forever to figure out. My goodness, it took forever to figure out. But I was able to figure it out. I don't know if I need this, but I'm gonna keep it. Bullet, simple. If velocity.z is greater than or equal to 500, destroy itself. Otherwise, just keep going. And then, of course, update position. And it's kind of the same with the meteor. It's kind of, it looks like a mix between the ship and the bullet, but there is a bit of a difference. All of the collision is actually based off of this function right here, this begin overlap. If it is colliding with the bullet, then it'll add the score and it will destroy itself and the bullet. If not, then it'll have a game over. And self root right here is defined up here, and self.world is defined up here. Engine is a built-in thing. I'm not very good at describing things. I am so sorry. I'm not a professional. Honest. And then the game. We got create. We got start. We gotta make this. We gotta randomize everything. We gotta find text score. And we gotta make some other not functions. We gotta make some variables like score. We gotta spawn the meteor. But I tried using a function for spawning the meteor. It never worked. It's so weird. But you know what? It's fine. I could just copy and paste. It's fine. I'm fine with that. It's probably a good idea for it to be like that anyway. But if game over is false, then the timer goes down. And if the time is less than or equal to 0, then it goes to 1. Every second there should be a meteor spawning. And then there's also an add score and a game over. And this was that spawn meteor that I could not figure out how to do. But it's fine. Because look. It's still going to work. Watch. I can just press play on the engine. And I can move around. I can shoot. Ooh, game over. My score was 2. Let's try that again. But yeah, that is how it is created, essentially. How this Hello World was created. I think it works really well for a Hello World project. Especially when stuff like that happens. But just press escape and it goes back to the editor. And that is where I will end the video. So, I do hope that you enjoyed watching me kind of struggle through this, explaining how everything works. But stay safe. Have a very good rest of your day. And I hope to see you soon. Bye!